everyone's working really hard because we're on such a tight schedule to get everything done for a musical, which has never been tried here at SAIT. There's a lot of characters, a lot of scenes, a lot of shots, and a lot of music to be done. So it's a challenge.
My Life Musical is about a guy who catches a musical like a disease. And so he wakes up one morning to footsteps and chimes and things like that just happening in his life, and goes to the doctor and finds out that he's actually been diagnosed with a musical, which is 3 people who follow him around and sing songs about his life.
Originally it was going to be kind of a parody of those TLC, look at the crazy disease this person has documentaries, and it was going to be a documentary about this guy who has a musical. How did you get involved?
You told me about the idea.
Yeah.
And at that point I liked the idea, and I said, hey, how would I try writing it out? And then I wrote it out, and you looked at it like, this is really good. And then we decided we would write a longer one, and that became the 2230.
We had a lot of time for pre-production, which is really nice. We had a lot of time to prepare and a lot of different locations, had to get a lot of different equipment ready for the various shoots.
It's a Friday shoot in the early afternoon, so it's not one of our technically laid out shooting days. So we'll be talking to my execs because it will be during class time.
It's a lot of scheduling. You have to be all right with time. You have to make sure everything's done on time on set. And when things aren't being done, you kind of have to be the bad guy, step in and make sure that we keep moving on. There's shooting schedules, there's scenes, and then you have what shots are in each scene, what wardrobe is needed for each character in what scene. It's just a mess. It makes sense if you've put it together and spent 30 hours in this room.
It's my musical.
What, I should go.
Wait, no, don't go.
Well, I was actually driving him to the audition, and he's like, yeah, I'm driving. Can I get a ride? I'm like, sure. And they're like, oh, I'll just audition too. And I did. Excellent, now I'm here.
I got an email from your original casting director, and I'm not actually sure how she got my email, but I don't know. It sounded really fun, so yeah, I wanted to be part of it.
I'm used to working with 2 or 3 actors, and this time we have a cast of like over 20, so it's just working with everyone's availabilities to come together and work together. It's been a challenge, but in the end it's gonna be good.
We're going to fill them with a bunch of moss and natural debris, and then we've got them hooked up to some tanks, some air compressors, and basically they're going to detonate all at once with the flick of a switch, and it's basically going to eject these and look like explosives.
The battlefield scene actually started off as a joke. It wasn't in the script, and we were like, oh man, we should do an old-timey, like, Saving Private Ryan flashback to the battlefield.
We were just saying, a lot of production value.
Yeah, we're trying to get hit with some peat moss on the way down. That's production value, baby.
At which point it became the most extravagant cutaway gag ever filmed.
Production's been going pretty well. This is our first time ever doing a musical, so it's a pretty good learning process, and we've had our ups and downs with it, but I think in the end it's going to come together and look pretty awesome.
Some of the locations I didn't get a chance to see beforehand, so I was just kind of like guessing when I was doing my storyboards, but it actually ended up being really, really close. So, I mean, I'm really happy with how everything turned out.
Right now we're setting up for a reaction shot of our main character. He's watching his friend perform this musical for him, trying to get him to cheer up. He's sort of pouting by the window, watching him. It's basically what we're setting up for.
You guys ready? Quiet on set. This is for rehearsal. Action on rehearsal.
Belt it out. Come on, it's not that bad. Your disease has more fun. Life is a show, and you should be a part of it. Why live your life in the wings? Take center stage and take a bow.
Making sure that the location accessibility and the cast availability lines up. We definitely have had a bit of issues in regards to fitting those because of the large cast and the large amount of locations, but we made it work, and it's coming along. I mean, we've still got a week to go, but I mean, hopefully there's no more hiccups.
I had a really good production team, especially like I have a first AD who's just like amazing. The crew was awesome on set. They were ready to go, and they knew like what was happening every day and things like that.
We are the lighting team for about 14 hours, both doing interiors and exteriors, and there's going to be lots of lights and lots of grip stuff that we're doing. It's going to be fun.
It's fun playing with lights. The film would be very dark without us.
What kind of compromises have I had to make? Basically had to give up the idea of using certain camera rigs because of budget, you know, certain lights and stuff like that. Just basically, most of them have just been working within the confines of a tight schedule and a tight budget.
It's the kind of grand finale. It's going to be really exciting. I want to really see what we can kind of do, and hopefully we've been more than prepared with the music playback and getting prepared with, you know, all the different angles and everything that we have planned out.
Down!
I'll be waiting, watching time till I find you. I can't wait to remind you we were meant to fall into place, and it feels like the world is gone for the first time, and the songs make sense and the words rhyme. Oh, fall into place, fall for you. Fall into place, fall for you. I can't wait to remind you. I know I need you. I fall for you.
Cut! That's a wrap on My Life is Musical. There she be.
After shooting, the footage comes to my assistant editor, Adam Johnson. So he'll bring it into the system. He'll get everything organized for me. He'll set up all the circle takes, all the takes that the director wanted. He'll get all that organized for me, so when I step to the computer, all I have to do is pull those circle takes, start watching the footage, see what I have, and then from there I'll assemble a rough cut. And the rough cut is basically just getting everything in order. So taking shots that I like, things that look good, sound good, work together, and have a good flow. I'll put those together in story order, and then what I'll do is I'll go back into that to do a finer edit. The fact that the two lead actors are such really good friends, you know, they kind of talk to each other like they're having a normal conversation in real life, which plays really good on screen, but when sometimes they talk over each other at the end of their sentences, it makes it a little bit difficult to cut between the scenes. But all in all, I've figured out how to tackle that, and it's been turned out good.
We're sad people sitting in a sad bar, drinking sad beer.
I don't think that's how they pronounce it. Like, sad. Don't sad.
The point is that life sucks, okay?
It's. You know what? I think life happens to be pretty great.
Really?
Yes.
Do you?
I'm sitting, having a beer with my best friend in a nice bar. I got new socks today.
Yeah, those are kind of, yeah, I like this.
I'm under the firm idea that what there should in fact be is more music in our life. It can get a little tiring at times.
Things just fall apart, and then you pull it back together. You'll know after you do it once whether you want to do it or not.
It's fine when it's something that you enjoy.
Good morning, it's sunshine. Oh, the streets are filled with laughter. You'll be happy ever after if you sing along to our happy song. Your life is a musical.